Good morning, everybody. I'm doing a Facebook Live for the first time in forever. It's just my Monday morning musings. I'm just going to kind of work you through some of the thoughts I had this weekend and kind of summarize the conclusions I came to about why the world is so crazy right now and maybe what we can do about it to change things. And I'll start with a story because that's my favorite place to start everything. 11 years ago, I was working for Verizon Wireless in their marketing department. I was the marketing assistant, and I was on my way to work. I was absolutely miserable. I felt so bad about myself. There was nothing but negatives in the bank account. I didn't own a car. I didn't have a title. I didn't have a degree. I wasn't important, at least as far as I could see. And that was what was really bothering me, was I felt like I was nobody. I felt like I was nothing. And I didn't know how to change that feeling. So I walk in that day and I'm really down and I'm really searching for some hope and some inspiration and something to lift me up. And I said, God, just show me what I need to see. And I flip open my Bible and it's the scripture passage that says, foxes have dens and birds of the sky have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to rest his head. And a light clicked on and I asked myself, would Jesus Christ consider himself a failure? I mean, he didn't have anything. He didn't have a title. He didn't have a degree. He was from a backwater town in the middle of nowhere. He didn't have a car. He didn't even own the ass he rode into Jerusalem on. He didn't own a house. He was, by all societal definitions, nothing but a homeless bum. And so I asked myself, would I consider Jesus a failure? Would I consider him a nothing or a nobody? And I knew that I would not answer that to be the case. And then I asked myself, why? What was his success? And when I looked at it, like I said, I was working in the marketing department, and it hit me that our company spent $2 billion a year to get a fraction of the marketing play that Jesus Christ got with a $0 marketing budget. I mean, 2,000 years after the guy died, we're still seeking his wisdom. We're still seeking his words. We're still singing his jingles and proclaiming his name and pitching his product to other people. If that's not marketing success, I don't know what is. And if Jesus Christ was a success and he didn't have anything that I didn't have, he didn't have any money either, then I couldn't necessarily consider myself a failure. I just needed to figure out what his measuring stick was, because clearly it wasn't what society was using. And when I flipped through, I realized his success was all about relationships. It was all about how he connected to other people and on what level he connected. And because he focused on building those relationships and on connecting to the people around him, he was welcome everywhere he went. People were eager to offer him a home, eager to invite him to dinner parties, eager to hear words. They were so busy trying to get just 5 minutes of his attention that they would press up against him to the point where he felt like he was going to suffocate. If I could figure out his secrets, then I could get that same kind of success in my life. And I felt better already. And I decided that day that I was going to make relationships the measure for my success, that the quality and the quantity of relationships that I chose to form with other people would be the measure of my success. Instead of money, which I would later realize is like the least valuable kind of wealth that you could build. Because let's face it, money can be lost, it can be stolen, it can be diminished, it can be destroyed, and it can be devalued at any moment. It is nothing more than a piece of paper. But if I build relationships and then I build, say, a house, right? And I build a business and I build everything and I lose things. If I've built relationships based on love with the people around me, then when I have nothing, those people will come back around me to help me build up. But if I trade on my relationships to get money and I lose the money, then I have got literally nothing. Nobody's going to come around to help me build up because nobody's going to care because I didn't care. So that was my first clue about what was going on in society, that we were using the wrong measuring stick for success. And it would later be that I would learn to serve, that service was the start of forming relationships, that 80% of people in a room are there to get something. If you want to stand out in that room, be part of the 20% that are there to serve, because those people automatically generate attention. People look to them, people listen to them, and people gravitate toward them. And this is what's wrong with our society. We're using the wrong measuring sticks to measure everybody's importance, to measure whether we should pay attention to somebody or not. We're looking at what's on the outside of them rather than what's on the inside and what they're doing for others. If we want to fix our society, we have to stop focusing on what they look like and what their titles are and what their degrees are and what their bank account says and what the flashy car they drive says. And we have to start paying attention to what they're doing. How are they treating the people around them? What are they doing to lift other people up? That's what matters. That's the substance. That's the significance of a human being. It's not what you have. It's not what titles you have. It's what you're doing for other people. And I think that's where we need to fix our society, is we need to, each one of us, start focusing on being the person in the room that's there to serve somebody and not to be served. And if we will focus on being that person, if we did that 365 days out of the year, if every person would find one person to serve, one person, can you imagine 300 million people, 365 days a year, going out of their way to find somebody else to serve? What would that change look like in 6 months? What would that look like in a year? Our nation would become what it's supposed to be. It would become the greatest nation on the planet, not because of what we have, but because of what we do for others. And those are my thoughts for Monday morning. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate you being here, Pamela and Amber and Tahira and Angela. It's great, and I appreciate the support. And hopefully I'm going to be doing a little bit of Facebook Live every day. That's my commitment. I put it on my checklist. I don't know, some of you may know that at the start of the year, I had 6 F's a day that I was going to give the world. Those F's were faith, family, friends, fitness, finance, and fun. And last week, I decided that I was going to add a 7th F, which is Facebook Live. So it's on my checklist. But I hate doing Facebook Lives, so I had to make it the first thing I did when I walked in the office, or I knew I wouldn't get it done. But I'm glad that you guys joined me. I appreciate the support. I hope this message has been meaningful. And if it did something for you, I encourage you to share it with other people. God bless, and you'll have a great day.